climate change does happen, as it has happened continually since the Earth was created. The argument is, what causes the changes in the climate? There are many factors contributing to climate change. The orbit of the Earth around the Sun, the tilt of the Earth, Earth wobble, shift of the magnetic poles, greenhouse gases, solar flares, and volcanoes. One of the latest and best scientific books on climate change is The Solar Magnetic Cause of Climate Changes and Origin of the Ice Ages by Dr. Don J. Easterbrook, Geology Professor Emeritus at Western Washington University in Bellingham, Washington. The book was released in 2021. It is based on recent scientific research, as is the outstanding book he edited, Evidence-Based Climate Science, Data Opposing CO2 Emissions as the Primary Source of Global Warming, 2nd edition, 2016. To summarize the conclusions, the Sun is very hot and heats the Earth. The Sun has sunspots. The sunspots create a magnetic field around the Sun and the orbiting planets. The Earth also has a magnetic field. Stars in the universe explode. When the stars explode, they send out cosmic rays in all directions. Some of the cosmic rays head toward the Earth. Some are deflected by the magnetic fields. The cosmic rays that make it through the magnetic fields contact nitrogen in the atmosphere and create isotopes of beryllium-10 and radiocarbon-14. The isotopes contact the water vapor and make clouds. The clouds block the sun's rays and cool the Earth. When there are a lot of sunspots, the magnetic field is stronger and deflects more cosmic rays, creating fewer clouds, letting in more sunlight, resulting in a warmer Earth. When there are fewer sunspots, more cosmic rays get through to the Earth, creating more isotopes, thus more clouds, resulting in a cooler Earth. The book explains it in much more scientific detail. Dr. Easterbrook and other scientists studying ice cores from Antarctica that show the history of the climate going back 800,000 years. What Dr. Easterbrook found was that these sunspots directly correlate to the climate. When there are more sunspots, the Earth was warmer. When there were fewer or no sunspots, the Earth was cooler. During the ice ages, there were periods when there were no sunspots at all. The false mantra of climate alarmists is that carbon dioxide emissions control the climate. Politicians like Al Gore and his sycophants point out that the rise in carbon dioxide recorded in the ice cores correlate to the rise in Earth's temperature. But they conveniently failed to mention that the analysis of the ice cores shows that the rise in Earth's temperature preceded the rise in carbon dioxide. Greenhouse gases comprise only 5% of the Earth's atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is only 3.6% of the greenhouse gases and only 0.04% of the atmosphere. Water vapor is 95% of the greenhouse gases. Hence, water vapor is a much more significant effect on the Earth's climate than carbon dioxide. To quote Dr. Easterbrook, CO2 makes up only 0.04% of the atmosphere and constitutes only 3.6% of the greenhouse effect. It has increased only 0.0008% during the period of modern global warming. Such a tiny, tiny increment of CO2 cannot cause the catastrophic warming predicted by CO2 alarmists. I have put this information in a coloring book, How the Sun Controls the Climate. It is available at Amazon and DoranceBookstore.com. You might check your local bookstore for a copy. I believe that the universe was created by an intelligent being. I believe that intelligent being is God, the great I Am that spoke to Moses. God set up this system of climate control that gives us life. He created the elements, including hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and the trace elements that give us life. Carbon dioxide is the building block of life. We are made of CO2 along with H2O and some trace elements that make the food we eat. If we could limit CO2, we would limit the food supply. The United States government is, and some states are futilely, attempting to limit CO2. Some U.S. farmers are growing corn and soy for biofuels to limit CO2 emissions instead of producing food. Some predict a shortage of food in the U.S. Will the foolish attempt to limit CO2 be the demise of the United States of America?